Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Walk Off Sports Talk. We are going to discuss the Diamondbacks roster situation. Now, um, we'll talk a little bit about last season, stats wise, and um, also this season. We added Corbin Burns to an already impressive pitching staff. We signed Trey Mancini, who took a year off from baseball, and we have brought in Josh Naylor. Um, we lost uh Jock Peterson. We lost Christian Walker. Both um big losses. Now Josh Naylor fills in the offense portion for the D-backs, but Christian Walker won us a lot of games with his glove, perennial gold glover, as he was. So big shoes to fill defensively for Naylor. He's good in that area, but he's not Christian Walker. So that's a bit of a bummer. Um, but there are a lot of bright sides. A lot of bright sides. And I, for one, am not um, nervous about this season. I think we'll be just fine. Um, this is our roster as it stands now, with exception to the additions that I just mentioned, Trey Mancini, um, and also I let me look. Yeah, they have Josh Naylor on there. They didn't include McGuff, who we signed yesterday, and they didn't add Trey Mancini. Um, and keep in mind, we're not done yet. Um, Last year around this time, well, between February and March, we made one waiver claim, two trades, signed two free agents. Um, we DFA'd a couple of players, and we signed 16 minor league free agents. So don't expect Hazen to be done just yet. And one piece I expect to go is Jordan Montgomery. Because right now I think we have seven starters. Um, and Montgomery's got to go. He has got to go. I am looking forward to this season. I think Corbin Carroll is going to take off like a shot and not stop till the season's over. I think he's really, really going to take a massive step, which is saying something because he was on base 40 consecutive times at one point last season. And despite a cold start, he ended up with massive numbers, much like Eugenio Suarez ended up as one of the best third basemen of baseball last year. Um, Now we lost some pop, with Peterson going, and it's looking, all indications are pointing to Pavin Smith taking his slot. He's projected 54 runs, 13 home runs, 57 RBIs, 248 average, 333 OBP, 407 slugging, and 09 WAR. I mean, that's 10 fewer home runs, about nine fewer runs, um, eight or nine. Uh, about seven fewer RBIs. He's gonna strike out a fair amount. He's been sitting down a few times. Um, but there were some pretty impressive flashes last year from him, so I'm not gonna be down on him. Um, I still wouldn't mind just maybe looking to add a power bat. Um, but offensively, I think we're gonna be fine. We have Ketel Marte coming off a Silver Slugger. Corbin Carroll had a good year. Suarez had a good year. Um, and Jake the Rake, um, he was not bad. Um, we're gonna have a fun offensive team, but as excited as I am for the offense, um, we have the best projected ERA in baseball, beating out the Braves by 4.4. A 3.66 ERA is what we're um expected to have. Um yeah, and the Dodgers 381. Now that was as of February 3rd. So you could probably bump that up and make the Diamondbacks and Dodgers 1-2. You know, Dodgers could be 1, Diamondbacks 2, or the other way around. Since they added Suzuki, no, Saki, I can't remember his name. They signed 8 million players. I can't remember them all. Um, but that's pretty darn good. And we got Corbin Burns, um, who's looking to kick some major ass, and Eduardo Rodriguez, who Ian fought with first D-backs, I think since Johnson and Schilling, to have 12 plus strikeouts back to back. Bott, I think, is going to have a breakout year. And yeah, uh, and our bullpen's solid. We get Tommy Henry back. Um, we have Puck. Mantiply is always solid. Bryce Jarvis was an underrated player last year. Didn't get enough love. Ryan Thompson. Ryan Nelson's hit and miss, but Ginkle's solid. Justin Martinez is solid. Speaking of Justin Martinez, you see a C next to his name, and I think that's why, even though February and March we make moves, I think that's why we haven't really went out and sought out some of these big names, because I think we're gonna give the ball to Martinez. I think we're gonna try him out as a closer. Now, watch later on today we sign a closer. Um, it's already been slated that Puck's not going to be the closer. That that announcement was made a while back. Um, I imagine it's going to go Puck, Ginkle, Martinez as the 1, 2, 3 to end the game. Our bullpen is just fantastic. Trey Jameson's on the roster bubble, but he was out with an injury. Tommy Henry as well. Those guys aren't on the bubble. They'll make the squad. I don't doubt that at all. Um, so throw in Jamison. Throw in Christian Mana. He's not on the bubble either. That dude's a stud. Um, might one of those three start in AAA? I think if any of them do, it's Blake Walson up top there. Um, I think maybe Mana, maybe because he is so young, but his stuff is really really good. He had some ups and downs, but he had some pretty bright flashes when he played last year. So maybe him as well starting in AAA, but not for very long, not for very long at all. Um, so I'm not worried about our pitching. Kelly is a year older. He had an injury last year, so that sucks. Zach Gallen wasn't great last year, so those two guys. I mean, Gallen has to step it up. I mean, these guys train not to get, you know, train not to have their body vulnerable, but shit happens. So, um, I'm not gonna blame Kelly for that and say that he needs to get it together. When he's healthy, he's one of our best. Um, so I'm excited. Um, I'm excited. Gabriel Moreno's going to take another step. I think he'll cement himself as one of the best catchers in the league this season. Um, yeah, we got Goriel, Thomas, Carroll, McCarthy. I am very, very excited about this squad. Um, very, very excited. Uh, in saying that, I think I think I'm not 100% sure Kelly can make it through an entire season anymore. When we got him, he was older. Uh, and Gallon, it's Jekyll and Hyde with him. You never know what you're going to get. Um, man, but we got Burnsy. We got Fodder. I think he's going to take that next step. We got Rodriguez. We had the pitching staff to keep the ERA low, as I think it's Zips. That yeah, Z lowercase IPS. That made that yeah Zips DC by Dan Zaborski made that projection. Um, and I agree. Even with Gallen struggling, we aren't going to give Montgomery the ball. Um, take him out of the picture last year, and we make the playoffs. We missed it by one game. I think we win about 88 games. I think we I, I think we tease the threshold of 90 but don't quite get there. It's about 87, 88 games. And this pitching staff's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to watch the offense. Jake McCarthy another year, Thomas another year under their belt. I think they're going to break out. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see Walton at and Jordan Lawler because there's gonna come a point where those guys come up. Adrian Del Castillo had his bright spots last year. We'll see him again. Um, Ilmar Vargas he got a spring training invite. I wouldn't be surprised if just for veteran leadership he cracks the opening day roster. Um, yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. I don't think there's going to be nearly as many ups and downs just because we are not going to give Jordan Montgomery the ball. Uh, man, it's almost time. Almost time. Spring training games are a few days away. I think pitchers and catchers report today, if I'm not mistaken, maybe tomorrow. No, I think it's today. So that's my prediction 87, 88 games. I do think Trey Mancini makes the club. I do think that happens. I don't think McGuff does though, but I think Trey Mancini gets the job done and earns a spot. 87, 88 games. That's where I have him at. Am I crazy? Am I insane? Tell me what you think down below. We'll chat. But for now, I'm JB Taylor, Swacko Sports Talk. I'll catch you later.